In my series on the A320, I have looked basically at flying the aircraft with no problems from airport A to airport B. However, of course, in the real world, not all flights go 100% to plan. The most common issues that we have is that the traffic is rather dense at the required landing airport, and air traffic control puts the pilot into a holding pattern at the point as he is making his final approach until the traffic is clear and safe for him to land. The other common situation is that for whatever reason a missed approach is made to the destination airport. That could be due to traffic on the runway. It could be due to weather conditions, meaning that the pilot is not happy with his final approach vision, or a number of other factors. So in this video I'm going to look at how we put the aircraft into a holding pattern around a VOR, and what happens if, as we make our final approach, we decide to make a go-around or a missed approach. I have been referring to the onboard flight computer system as the FMC, Flight Management Computer. That is the term that is used by Boeing, but Airbus actually use the terminology of an MCDU, a multifunction control and display unit. They both do the same function and they both achieve the same end, giving a very accurate and safe flight. So I apologize to anybody who has been listening to my commentary and querying the FMC, but actually I think it is a simpler term to describe what Airbus call the MCDU. So apologies if I switch between the two. I've just got so used to the Boeing system prior to learning how to operate the A320. Okay, well here I am at 17,500 feet. I'm climbing to a cruise altitude of 19,000 feet, and I want a flight between Cardiff and Birmingham, EGFF to EGBB. My main display here at the moment is showing my top of climb, 19,000 feet, which I'm just about to reach, and my first waypoint, Brecon, near where the aircraft will make its first turn towards my second waypoint, which is Daventry. So if I take a quick look at the FMC or MCDU, I am just about to reach Brecon, then it will be my top of descent, Daventry, deceleration, a waypoint that the MCDU has calculated, and final arrival at EGBB. So I've just passed Brecon and I'm making the turn towards Daventry, which is 82 miles away from me. I'm going to look at going into a holding pattern at Daventry, DT1. So I am presently at my cruising altitude and heading for Daventry. Cardiff Airport is now behind the aircraft. Bristol Channel is to be seen just below the aircraft. Okay, let's see now how we enter a holding pattern into the scratch pad on the flight computer. I have here my waypoint DT1, and I've adjusted my map so that I can see it here. This is DT1. If I now click alongside the DTY Daventry, I have an option to create a hold. If I click that button, hold, I can select a computed pattern or a database pattern. For simplicity on this one at the moment, I'm going to go to computed. If I click computed, it will create some data that it will need for the pattern, which will be an oval pattern. If I then select the F plan button here, the map view will change, and where the DTY VOR is, the route will change to an oval. So I'm going to now click flight plan, and then I have an option to insert it into the flight plan. The moment that I have done that, I now have a holding pattern at Daventry. So the aircraft will now be able to fly along the route towards Daventry and then go round and round this holding pattern as required. Look at how we do that in the next stage. Now, because I have entered that into the flight plan, when the aircraft reaches this point, it will now go into the holding pattern. I am doing this a long way from it. This would be normally something that you would do quite quickly when you were told to do so by air traffic control. So as I enter this, the aircraft will turn and follow this oval pattern. I have in the flight management system now an option to exit. We'll look at that when we need to come out of the holding pattern. Now I want to hold in Daventry at 15,600, so I'm going to dial in an altitude of 15,600. That is the altitude that is in the management computer, and left clicking. The aircraft will now begin to descend. I've left that descent application a little late because I was looking at putting the information into the FMC. If I zoom in on my main display, you can see that the word hold has been lit in green here, confirming that I am going to enter this hold pattern when I reach this point. I have the ILS flashing here, telling me I'm close to the ILS. I'm going to ignore that for the moment, just so that we can watch what happens in the hold.
Lima 4181, maintain speed 170.
Okay, I am now at 15,600. I am doing 270 knots. And I am coming to the top of the hold pattern. The aircraft should shortly turn to follow this arc.
South 4896, speed 170. For the 170, that's the 4896. South 3361, turn right heading 040. 040 heading south 33. South 4896.
The aircraft is now beginning its turn. If I zoom out, you will see the turn
49 to 40,000. Picking 4,000,
a little clearer.
588,
The aircraft is now beginning to follow its hold pattern.
500 to 7 on the left.
Now, until I do something else, the aircraft will simply follow this holding pattern. And it will go round and round and round until I make some alteration to bring it out of the holding pattern. Just for clarity, I will let it follow the pattern and fade in and out as it progresses around its route. When it comes back to here, I will make some alterations on its second circuit.
Status on 15, cleared ILS 915 right approach.
That was for Southwest 3361, 3000,
Southwest 3360. Status up to 4896.
So it is now going down 180 degrees from where we started. Here is my final airport. And so the route that I want is going eventually to come back to DTY and turn towards Birmingham. We're now at the top of the holding curve on our return view, and now it is going to make its turn back to the original direction. To fly this manually, it should be a 2-minute rule. You make a 180-degree turn, fly for 2 minutes, make a 180-degree turn, fly for 2 minutes, make a 180-degree turn, and so on, until you are told by air traffic control to come out of the holding pattern and re-establish your flight to the destination. So it's now making the second turn, 180 degrees, to come back to our original route. Once again, this is Daventry.
Turn left heading 180, intercept 15 left low.
Here is my final approach, and here is EGBB, my destination.
4181, you're a beam green intersection, maintain 2500 till established, cleared ILS.
I'm now almost back on my original heading towards Daventry, DT1. Now I will let the aircraft head towards Daventry once again, make the 180-degree turn, and as we are heading back on the outward leg, I will then make the alteration to come out of the holding pattern.
4181, contact Baltimore, down 184.
Aircraft beginning to make its third turn. We're going to be 180 degrees opposite direction in a minute or so when it's made the turn. Okay, we are now making the third turn. Did this the first time, did the second turn of 180 degrees back. This is the third turn of 180 degrees back. When I'm on this straight, I will make the necessary adjustments to come out of the holding pattern. Aircraft continuing to turn. Aircraft is now reaching the end of the turn and will shortly level off to fly the leg again.
Southwest 1993, just going to maintain 2500, turn left heading
Now leveling off to fly the 180-degree backward leg. Okay, so we're now heading back for the second time. Now, as I'm on this outward leg, I'm going to look at both the onboard computer guidance system and my route map. And I am in a hole at Daventry. But I have an option to exit that hole. I'm now going to click the button next to exit.
1993, 4 from Blabber, 2500 till established, cleared ILS 915 right approach.
My option is now to resume the hold. You'll see that the aircraft is now making a turn. But it is calculating the way that it needs to come out of the hold and rejoin its original desired route. Depending where you exit the hold, the way that the aircraft calculates this reconnection to its route can be quite different. Sometimes it will continue in the hold and then pick up its original route. Sometimes it will cut across the holding pattern. You will only discover this yourselves by trial and
contact tower
error.
94, thanks.
Okay, a few minutes have passed here. I've come out, the map view has changed. The aircraft is trying to intercept its original route now, and I've lost the hold pattern. My next altitude, I need 2,000 feet. I'm going to dial in that now and make that active. I'm leaving this a little late because I'm doing too much talking. However, 2,000, make it active. And I am now on my descent to my required airport. Okay, I'm now back on my original approach line to the airport, though a little high at the moment. So we'll see if we can rejoin the route as desired and make a successful landing at Birmingham.
49 is going to be 4,000. That was 4896, turn left 180.
Descending through 11,000 feet here. Target altitude of 2,000 feet.
2,500, Hill 7 on the low flag, clear ILS 115 right of road. 2,500, Hill 5, clear the ILS 15 right, up to 4996.
Going to switch to ILS mode. Way above my glide slope here. So I'm going to put the aircraft into a turn of my own choosing here to descend to pick up this glide slope. I'm going to right click my heading and I'm going to make a turn and descend to pick up the glide slope. I'm going to come down to about 3,000 feet or so and then try and pick up my route again.
4896, contact tower 94. Tower up to 4896. Excuse me, Piedmont 4181, 10 degrees right, space.
That's alright, 4181.
These errors are due to my leaving everything too late at the holding point.
Southwest 49, turn right heading 340, reduce speed to 1.
However, as we've shown earlier, we can override the program route and make the aircraft do what we want it to do.
Southwest 3361, reduce speed to 150 knots, contact tower 1940 speed.
Alright, Thunder 150, over the tower now.
I'm going to make it descend at a greater descent rate as well, so that I can take it right down to the altitude that I wish. Okay, I've made a long spiral descent. I am now at 2,000 feet and I'm heading back to intercept my original approach line, which is this dotted line here. Presently on manual, I'm going to try and select back to the automatic system by right-clicking my heading button shortly. If it doesn't reconnect with the route, I will continue to make a manual landing. Presently doing 17 knots. I have flaps 1 set.
Southwest 49, turn right heading 050. Right heading 050, south 49.
Okay, I'm presently heading 262 Final runway is
Southwest 1640,
295.
75,
I'm now going to left click.
What's the
The automatic onboard computer, the FMC, should now revert to its pre-programmed approach to the airport. We will shortly make a right-hand turn.
T-Log 4181, maintain speed 170, turn left heading 31.
I will then
170.
manually operate flaps and gear
4896, back 10 right, space. Turn right, that's the 4896.
and make my landing into Birmingham Airport. Aircraft has now picked up its original route. Guidance system is turning it here along its original route. I'm now going to set the switches back to ILS for my final approach. Switch to LS. I have LS and LS. I am now below the glide slope, which is what I want, and my ILS bars are also active. I now need to follow the ILS and glide slope as in previous videos.
4896, speed of 4 miles from Flavor.
Now that I know that the ILS bars are active, the glide slope is active, I can select the localizer button for the ILS bars. That is the localizer bars. When the glide slope indicator becomes a solid diamond, then I will select the approach. So I now have the localizer set, which is going to follow the localizer bars. My glide slope is active. When that becomes a solid diamond, I will select approach, and then the system will follow both the localizer and the approach. I just now need to be patient. I am at 2,000 feet, travelling at 170 knots. I have flaps 1. As the aircraft intercepts the ILS, I will extend my flaps to 2, and my speed will automatically decrease.
101 Heavy, continue straight ahead via taxiway, Zulu Alpha, then Bravo, and monitor ground 121.9.
Zulu Alpha, Bravo, ground 121.9, get 121.0.
Okay, the glide slope is now descending, so that is active. Airport is here. I'm going to extend flaps. Aircraft is turning on the LS. I'm going to select approach. System will follow both of these now. Gear down. I'm now on flaps 2. Speed is reducing to 135. Flaps 3. Speed will reduce even further. Now all set for my landing. I have center glide slope, center ILS bars, full flaps. Runway directly ahead. Listen for the altitude call-outs and be prepared to make my landing reverse thrust applied wings.
Five hundred.
500 feet.
400. 300.
4 1411, traffic touching down.
200.
Company heavy ball 767, the runway 29 intersect. Runway 13 right, push takeoff on 2208.
100.
85 heavy, can you
Now, on this occasion, I managed to recover my flight and make a successful landing. But in the next part of this video, we will look at what needs to be done if I have to make a missed approach and make a go